So this is the setup I have right now just to get the interior on this truck done. So I have some power ran to my vacuum, and then some more power ran over to my air compressor that's behind the shelf. I have the hose going out to a Tornador. A Tornador is super helpful, but it's not something you have to buy in the beginning. If you're starting out, all you need is a vacuum, but this just speeds up the process. So once you get some jobs in and you're making some money, definitely recommend getting an air compressor and a Tornador. Then I have this cart with my most common products on it. I just have some detail spray out right now. And then these brushes, you're definitely gonna wanna get yourself some of these brushes. I have a couple different sizes in here, and then some that are just more tough, and then a lily pad and just some other things to help me with the carpet. But I'll go over the products that I use while I'm using them during this video. So I'm gonna be making a list, a step-by-step list that you guys can print out and follow while you're detailing. I actually wanted to make one for myself, so I think this is a perfect time to just push me to do it and make one. And so you guys can have it and I can have it myself. It's pretty much just gonna be the list that I follow. It's not a specific order that everyone does it. I'm letting you guys know it's what I do. So I'm just gonna be making a list on my basic full detail because that covers everything you need. The premium is something that I do specifically, which you guys don't have to do. So you can kind of work off of the basic as a starter. Getting started with this truck, what I'm gonna do first is take out the floor mats, and I will vacuum and blow out the carpets. So if the carpets are really dirty, what I normally do is just vacuum them up quick, and then I'll blow everything to the back, but they're really not that bad. So I'm just gonna start with blowing everything to the back of the truck.
So how I'll use this Tornador is I'll blow out the carpets from the outsides first, and then I'll go to the middle and I'll blow everything out. That's why I was saying if it's really bad, you wanna vacuum it first, because you don't wanna be spraying stuff absolutely everywhere. It's just gonna make it a little bit worse for you. Yeah, so I'll start like back here. Like you're not gonna be able to push every speck of dust to the back of the car. There's gonna be dust stuck underneath the seats, so you'll just have to push it back and forth kind of. That's why you gotta play with the vacuum and the Tornador at the same time. But I mean, as you can see too, I just keep dropping it, so I had to tape it up. So I'll go ahead, like, the way this thing works is there's this like piece in there you guys can see, and once you blow it, it'll spin around in a circle and it just rips everything out of the carpet. So as you can see right here, boom, just like that. That's why I was saying it's super nice to have one, and it's definitely something I would recommend to pick up if you guys are able to. So if you guys are really interested in picking up a Tornador, I was a little confused in the beginning on what air compressor to buy. So I ended up getting a 6-gallon, so it'd be able to fit in my car with ease. So I'd probably recommend a 6-gallon to an 8-gallon if you guys are mobile. If you're not, just go big, it's much easier. Sometimes you have to sit and wait for it to fill up again, the air compressor to fill up again, because you're just using it all the time. So there's one thing to keep in mind, it can't always go all the time. Another thing to keep in mind with detailing is you always want to work from top to bottom. So if you're blowing stuff out, if you're vacuuming, you want to start with the seats and then work down to the carpet. The only reason I didn't just do that now is because they're not bad. The seats aren't bad, so they really don't need that much work. I mean, there's some dust, I'll show you.
There's some dirt in the seat right here. That's it. So nothing too ridiculous. All right, so I just finished up blowing everything out. Now what I'm gonna do is do a once over with the vacuum, just to make sure that I got everything, because there's still some stuff around, especially like under the seat. I just don't want to keep blowing it. I just don't want to keep blowing it back and forth. I'm just gonna go through and hit it with a vacuum again. Like you can see, still some stuff in the carpets. So I'll just do that, and then I will let you guys know the next step after I'm done. All right, so I just finished going over the carpet with a vacuum. So I can still see some things in the carpet. It'll probably be hard to tell with the camera, but I'll show you guys the next step with this carpet to get it looking perfect. All right, so what you're really gonna need is this. This is a lily brush, and this will take the lint out of the carpets. So it's probably gonna be impossible to see on the camera, but I see some lint, some just stuff, whatever, in this carpet. So all you have to do to use this thing is, it's got rubber surrounding it, so you just gotta kind of push it into the carpet like this, have it pull out the stuff. Just kind of go over it. They also sell bigger ones. I just haven't gotten it yet. But you can kind of see this little pile forming, and this carpet is already looking really, really good after.
It can also pull up some dirt from the carpet, so it's good to just vacuum after. Yes, I mean, you could barely even see anything with this carpet and it just picked up all this. So I'm just gonna go ahead, hit all the carpet with this Lily brush and then vacuum it once again, and then that should be it for the carpet. All right, so I just finished up vacuuming the carpet. Now I'm gonna be hitting the seats. So now that I'm gonna be using chemicals, I'm gonna throw on some gloves. It's a good practice to use gloves when you're working with chemicals because it can kind of hurt your hands. So these are the gloves I'm using. They're from Walmart. They're from Grease Monkey. They're like textured. I don't know. I just picked them up. I've heard some good reviews about them, so I wanted to try them, but I definitely recommend picking yourself up some gloves because you don't want to be hurting your hands, especially when you're going to be working with chemicals all day. You really want to be safe with this stuff. These gloves are kind of hard to find at Walmart. I just saw these, so I've got 2 boxes of them, but I mean, you can get any glove that you want. Just try to stay safe. So to get these seats clean, first thing I do is I'll lay them back to get into the groove at the bottom. So I'll lay them pretty far down and then I'll kind of pull them up just a little bit to make it easier. Then I use the P&S Express Interior Detailer. This stuff is amazing for like literally everything. It's really good on cloth, on the dash, like all these buttons. It works really well. So I'll basically just spray the whole seat down pretty generously. Then I have a bigger brush because the seats are normally bigger, so it makes it a little bit easier. Then I'll just kind of go over it. This stuff I have will start foaming, which is also something I like about it. So there's a couple of reasons why you want to clean the leather seats. Obviously, for one reason you want them clean because you're detailing the car, but another reason is you want to try to level out the surface for when you're going to be putting on conditioner, and especially on leather like this that's really worn down, you're going to want to put conditioner on it. It's just something I offer in my basic package. All right, so I went through, scrubbed it all down. Now I'm just going to wipe it all off. Sometimes it can be hard telling if leather's clean or not. One good way to tell that leather is clean is if it looks shiny, because you'll see oils from your skin in the leather and it makes it shiny. So if you see shiny leather, it means it's dirty. When there's little tiny holes in these seats, what I'll do is I'll take out the Tornador and I'll just blow it real quick. So I'll just do a quick once over of the seat. And boom, all done. So I'll go ahead and I'll knock all these seats out, and then I'll come back when I'm gonna lay down the conditioner. All right, so now that the seats are all clean, what I'm gonna do is hit them with this leather conditioner. So really all you gotta do, grab your bottle. I use the Adams Polish kind because I really like it. I'm gonna put the seat back down just a little bit. You wanna shake it up, and then you can just put some in a applicator pad. I'm pretty sure they sell like kits for these. So spray some in there. That's probably a good amount right there. I'll just put that in a cup holder, and you can just lay it down. You want to make sure to start spreading it on a part of the seat that doesn't have these holes, because if you don't, it's going to get all that conditioner inside the holes, and it's going to be kind of a pain to get out if you don't have the Tornador. And I swear I'm not sponsored by the company that makes the Tornador. I just like it that much. I just keep bringing it up because it's super useful. All right, so same as last time, I'm just going to get all these seats done plus the center console, and then I will get back to you guys with the next step.
All right, so I just finished conditioning all the leather, and now I'm moving on to the buttons. So I got some done right now, and it's already coming out pretty good, but I want to show you guys the technique that I use to get these things looking perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna hold my camera while I do this, so sorry if it's not filmed great, but first thing I do, cover the whole thing with product, like that. Go in with my brush, scrub everything. Then I'll wipe it all off. All right, now that the surface is all clean, I'll take out my Tornador and I'll blow in all these cracks. Then just kind of do another quick wipe down to get it dry, and boom, just like that. But yeah, that's how to get all the trim and buttons done real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cover all of this, and then I'm gonna move on to the doors, and I'll show you guys what I do with the doors after. So now with these doors, I'll pretty much do the same thing. Start from the top and just cover all of it. Then I'll just spray some on my brush. Just go over it top to bottom. Once you're done rubbing it in, just wipe it all off. All right. And same as the center console and all that. Just want to spray it all out. And you're looking good from there. All right, so that's pretty much the interior right there. Now I'm gonna be moving on. I got a client calling me. We can work out a price tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure on it yet. I kind of just want to look at it again. All right, so that's pretty much it for the interior. I will be hitting it again after I finish the outside, which I'll explain later. But now I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the outside. All right, so I'm filling up 3 buckets right now. The reason I have 3 buckets is because I have a clean water one, a dirty water one, and then one specifically for the wheels. So what I mean by clean and dirty is you start with the clean water, then you wash the truck. Once you use the wash mitt to its potential or whatever, you go in, you dip it into the dirty water, mix it around, whatever. And I also have a grit guard in here just to kind of help to not get rocks inside of there. So I have that in there, and then you put it back into the clean water, and then you go back to the truck. So that's the reason I have that. It's a good protection from getting rocks into the wash mitt and then scratching the truck. And then the wheel's kind of self-explanatory. I go around the truck and just use this bucket only for the wheels specifically. But I'll show you guys what I do with the wheels. All right, so I've already talked about doing the wheels in a different video, but I will just do it again for those people that didn't see that video. So I made a pretty solid method in cleaning these wheels and making them look almost new. So I'll go over what tools that I use and what products that I use and kind of the order that I clean the wheel. And then you guys will see the before and after. So obviously you're looking at the before. I haven't touched it at all. I haven't touched the outside of this truck at all yet. I'll go ahead and I'll get started with what I normally do. So first of all, probably the most important thing is get yourself a seat with wheels on it. If you don't want to buy this seat, I would recommend getting knee pads because you're going to hurt your back or you're going to hurt your knees kneeling down or bending down to clean these wheels. I really like using the seat because it's at like a perfect position to get the whole thing pretty comfortably. So, and that's a huge thing. You want to be comfortable when you're detailing. I'll say it again, you want to be comfortable when you're detailing because it's going to suck for you to clean a car when you're uncomfortable, your back hurts, your knees hurt. You got to get good shoes, which I just wear Vans slip-ons. They fit my feet really well. I've been wearing them for years, so I love these shoes. But yeah, seat, knee pads. I don't really use knee pads much anymore because I just sit down when I do stuff. So, but totally your preference. But getting into this wheel, first step, you want to get your power washer. If you don't have a power washer, you're doing this at home or whatever, you can just use a hose, same thing. But obviously this might be a little bit easier to use. So go ahead and give the wheel a good rinse, and then I have P&S Brake Buster in a spray bottle. So it's a pump spray bottle, so you pump it up, puts pressure in there, and then once you push this down, it'll spray the product on. It makes it a little bit easier when you're spraying product all day in a spray bottle where you gotta go like this, your hand starts to hurt, like cramp. So I like these a lot more. I got this from Home Depot. They're like $4 or whatever it is. So yeah, you just spray it all down, go over the tire. I like it to be a little bit wide of a spray. You want to be pretty generous. It is a little bit hot today, so it might dry up a little bit faster, so I like spraying it a little bit extra on hot days. All right, then I have my bucket full of water, and then I just put basic shampoo in there. I have a wheel barrel cleaner, so you go in and it cleans the barrel of the wheel. A lug brush cleans the lugs, and then just a regular wheel brush. This is the, regular wheel brush. This is the Adams Polish one. I really like it. It's surrounded with rubber, so you don't have to be like super careful and like hitting it. I mean, I don't know what company would make this out of metal, so I don't think it's anything special in a brush. But yeah, so I normally just start with this one, the big brush, hit the tires. It's So I get the tires, I just do kind of the face of the wheel. Go around it. Get into all those crevices. Okay, then I'll take my lug brush. Obviously you can use this more than just the lugs. This doesn't even have, it has like a cover on it. So I'll just go in, and I'll get a little more in depth into all the cracks and stuff, and I'll go into the inside of it. Okay, and you can grab your wheel barrel brush. I like using the smaller ones, mostly the smaller ones like this fit like everything. I bought a 3-pack of them and this is the only one I use. So to save you some money, just buy the small one. And you just go in. All right, you don't want to let it sit too long. You just rinse it all off. Also, I forgot to mention, but you want to always start with the wheels first. Always start with the wheels first and then you go to the paint. Because if you're gonna clean the whole truck, get it perfect, dry it off or whatever it is, and then move on to the wheels, you're just gonna spray dirt and crap all over the paint again, because the wheels are the dirtiest part because they're closest to the ground, so they're gonna pick up a bunch of rocks and whatever. So they're gonna have the most amount of dirt in there compared to the paint. So make sure you get the wheels first, then move on to the paint. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna finish up these wheels and then I'll get back to you once I move on to the paint. All right, so pretty much what I'm gonna be doing to the outside of this truck is first rinsing it off with water. So the sun is beating right on the paint, so it's pretty hot. It's also black. So the water is going to dry on it and leave water spots if I leave it sitting there too long. So I'm gonna start on this side, and while I'm rinsing it off, I'm just gonna kind of go a little extra on these panels to cool them down, and then I will foam it. I'll use this mitt, and I'll go over it with this brush for like this stuff. This is for the brush. I'll use the mitt, rub all that soap in, and then just rinse it off, and then repeat for the hood and all the other paint. So it's a pretty simple process for actually cleaning it. You just gotta know the right steps to take and the right products to use. This is the shampoo I'm using, P&S Pearl Auto Shampoo Concentrate. So concentrate means you gotta dilute it. This stuff is really good. I talked about this stuff in a different video. I mostly use P&S because 1, it's super good, and 2, it's really easy for me to get it. So this stuff is totally up for you to create and you to do. Same with this entire video. This is not the exact way that you should clean your car. There's no other right way. It's completely wrong. This is just the way that I do it. So if you don't like the way I do it, you can make your own formula to cleaning a car perfectly. Obviously, this is taking me a lot longer than it should. I'd probably be done by now, but I'm recording this video for you guys, so I just hope this helps you a little bit in getting your car looking really good, or maybe just something to start from, and then you do your own thing with these steps. But I'm gonna clean the outside now, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, and I'll show you my drying process. So what I'll actually do on hot days like this where the sun's beating on it is I'll spray it a decent amount. I'll spray it a decent amount, and then I'll kind of just feel the panel with my hand to feel if it's cool enough or not. Like this right here, still a little bit too warm for me. So it's feeling pretty good. You want it a little bit cool. You don't have to go crazy and make it ice cold or anything, but you just want it a little bit cooler than the air is, because you don't want this stuff to just dry super fast. And actually I'm starting to get lucky and the sun's starting to go away while I'm doing this, so it's actually helping me out. But yeah, so that's pretty important. That's something I actually just learned recently of cooling down the panels, and don't just spray it real quick on hot days and then go into using soap. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you if you just spend a little bit extra time spraying water on the panels, cooling them down, and then going in with your foam cannon and foaming the car down. And guys, for real, don't forget the roof. All right, so my other camera actually just died, so that's why this is probably gonna look a little bit different. I got it charging up right now. I just finished spraying it all down. It's still wet, obviously I haven't dried it yet. So what I'm gonna do now is I have my drying towel, and then I'm gonna use a drying aid with the drying towel, which is Bead Maker. So if you don't know what a drying aid is, pretty much it's just product that you use while you're drying the car. So Bead Maker is meant to either be applied wet or dry to the paint, so really it doesn't even matter when you use it. So what you do, you spray the panel down and then you just wipe it dry, and that's pretty much it. It just helps with drying it, and also it makes it a little bit faster rather than going through it, drying the whole thing, and then spraying the product down and going over it all over again. So it just speeds up the process a little bit if you're trying to get your vehicle done quick. But it is a little bit of a help using a drying aid, and I would recommend it because it can protect the paint while you're drying it too. So to use a drying aid, literally all you gotta do, also using the same spray bottle, it says Door Jams on it because the bead maker is also what I use on Door Jams. But all you gotta do, I missed the whole thing down. Also, I actually didn't mention this, but you want to open the gas cap while you're spraying the whole car down. You want to get in there. Just so you also don't have to open it up and hit it after the fact. Save you some time. Pretty much the same thing as any way you want to use a microfiber towel. Fold it in fourths. You have one side I just used. You're just going to flip it over. Now it's dry. You can just finish it off. Same thing. Fold. Fold again. That's it. And it already looks way better. So if you're not just watching this to learn how to detail your own car so you don't have to pay a detailer, for the detailers out there that are watching this, little steps like that are the ones that get you going faster. So rather than having to go around the truck twice, now I can just go around once, and I got it ended up looking like this. I'll be taking videos of the truck after when it's all clean, but hopefully you can just tell on the video now that it's already looking way better than it was. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna dry this thing up. Once I'm done, I'll tell you guys my next step. All right, so I actually forgot to record for a little bit, but I'm pretty much done with the outside. I ended up just going over it with the Adams Polish ceramic coating spray. So it actually came out like way better than I was expecting. It looks pretty good. But the next step, for me at least, is either the door jams or the tires. I mean, it doesn't really matter the order. I just gotta finish up the tires, touch up the wheels of these door jams. I'm pretty much all done with them. So yeah, I'm gonna hit these wheels, and then I'm gonna hit the glass, and then I just have to finish those mats, and that's pretty much it. So, all right, so I just finished up the truck. It is 5:48. And I got here at 9 o'clock this morning. I have no idea why this truck took me so long, because it really wasn't that bad. But I mean, I think I was just kind of going way overboard and trying to make it perfect. And let me tell you, the last thing I want to do right now is film anything at all, but I'm still gonna put an edit out for you, and I'm still gonna tell you the last steps to take. So pretty much the last thing that I do is double check everything. I'll go over, I'll look everything over. Sorry if it's out of focus. I'll look everything over and just make sure it's all good. So you just kind of want to go through. Floor mats are still a little wet, just clean them. Just go through, see if you see anything, wipe it down, spray it down if you do. And yeah, I mean, that's how to make them look really, really good. But yeah, so that's all I have left. Just double checking it. I just have the other two mats drying over here. They're just in the sun, so I'm just waiting for them. So yeah, so those are in the sun. And I get to pick up because I made a mess. So yeah, this is how we're looking right now. This is after a long day. Just a mess.